Hello everyone, welcome back to the AJ Speed Shop YouTube channel. And this is not what Hot Rod Power Tour ready looks like. So this filthy mess is not Hot Rod Power Tour ready. Let me just bring you back to the last update from the last video where I was waiting on the turbo to come back from Works Turbo getting rebuilt. And I got the turbo back, got it back on, got it all installed, everything worked good. Had no issues. See that sucker right there? And I got the car running, got the tune dialed in on 75-pound injectors, got it running really good on 93 octane. And I had some issues with the brakes. I had to adjust the brakes several times on the rear. So over the course of the last week, or at least since the last updated video, I had the car up on Jackson numerous times trying to get the brakes working, and got everything going. And I started testing the car, and I drove the car about 400 miles, and everything was great. I was really wrapping everything down. It was time to start cleaning the car up. I just needed to do an oil change and do a differential fluid change. However, on my fourth night driving it home from work, the transmission decided that it was ready to leave the chat. So I lost overdrive at first. I was able to drive it 25 miles home, running about 3,500 on the highway. And then once I got home, it had lost reverse. So this is my older Janus Stage 3 transmission. Got about 5,000 miles on it, which isn't a lot, but it's been beat on a lot. So I do have a spare transmission that I had built back in April. For those of you that have been watching the channel since that far back, I built another transmission to use a lockup torque converter on. And the whole point of that was to be able to try to lock the torque converter at wide open throttle to reduce converter slippage and gain some mile an hour. Well, that whole project did not go according to plan. The converter would not stay locked up at wide open throttle. We had the transmission apart, checking hydraulic pressures and just a multitude of things. Well, in the interim of that, I stuck the old Janus Stage 3 transmission back in with a non-lock PTC converter, so I could take the car on the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. And I was just going to go ahead and take it on the Hot Rod Power Tour also, because the transmission was working fine. I was just going to revisit the lockup transmission thing when I got back. Well, it looks like we're going to have to visit that now. So the problem is the lockup transmission has got a billet overdrive planetary gear set in it. And upon inspection, that thing had cracks all in the welds where they weld the dowels through the planetary gears. And the thing is brand new. It's got 3 passes on it. So we got to send that back to Extreme Automatic so they can repair that. So now we don't have a planetary gear set for my spare transmission. So here it is Monday. I leave Friday. This thing's supposed to be going cross country Friday. So what we are going to do is I'm going to pull this transmission out. I'm going to take it to my friend's house Tuesday night. We're going to gut the planetary gear set out of this one, put back in the other one. Hopefully everything works okay with the other one. I get it back in on Wednesday, and we will hopefully have the car running Wednesday night and test to make sure the spare transmission is working. If not, I'll have to throw the towel in and go to plan B at that point. But we're not giving up yet. We still have a good 3 working days. I think I can get this done. So here we go. Car's up on jacks. I'm going to start draining it, get the transmission out starting today. I'll have it out tomorrow. I'm still working night shift right now, so I'm trying to do this before work. But we're not giving up yet. We're going to work as hard as I can and try to get as much stuff as we can and hope that this thing will work. So stay tuned. All right, here's the old Janus Stage 3. Gonna get ready to start dropping this sucker out. Got to pull a lot of stuff apart, as you can imagine. Gonna drive, once I get it out, I'm gonna drive it about an hour and a half up to my friend's house, and we're gonna gut this thing, get the planetary gear set out of it, finish reassembling the other transmission, and hope that it works. Hope that we don't have any other issues with that one. I will be putting the lockup torque converter back in that one. And if it does work, that will be great, because then I will have a lockup overdrive for the trip, which will be awesome. It'll drive so much better with having the transmission locking up on the freeway. A lot better on gas mileage, just a lot more comfortable. So that's the plan. I'm about to dig into this sucker and I'll keep you guys posted. Right now it's Monday. We've got until about Wednesday night. If I can't get this thing going by Wednesday night, I'm gonna have to throw in the towel on plan A and move on to the plan B car, which will require me pulling that car out of storage and getting it ready on Thursday so I can drive it on Friday. So it needs to have some maintenance done on it. It's been sitting for a long time. You guys have not even seen that car yet. I haven't even brought it to the channel yet. All that was scheduled for future content, but you might start seeing it a little early. Okay guys, I'll check back with you. All right, guys. The broken Janus Stage 3's out. Heading over to my buddy's house tonight to build my spare transmission. We got to rob a planetary off of this one and put in the other one. Hopefully get it back in tomorrow. Stay tuned. All right, guys, it's Tuesday night over at my buddy JD's house. And as you can tell, he's hard at work trying to piece back together my spare 200 R4. We just stole the billet planetary gear set out of my other transmission, my Janus Stage 3. This particular transmission that JD is working on right now is actually a fresh transmission, but for some reason unknown to us, it had a overdrive planetary gear set problem and the welds broke loose on it. It was brand new billet planetary, but for some reason the welds broke. So we were waiting on a replacement overdrive planetary set, but we haven't got it yet. So we're having to rob parts out of the Janus trans to put in this trans so we can try to get this thing back in the car tomorrow and hopefully have the car running by tomorrow afternoon. So right now at this point, we've already swapped the planetary gear set over and JD's putting it all back together. Probably another hour or so we'll be done, and I'll be heading back to my side of town and I'll be trying to put this thing back together first thing in the morning and see if it's gonna work. Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday morning, about 20 hours before we leave for Hot Rod Power Tour. And as you can see from the last clip, I got the Buick back together. It's back on the ground, ready to go. Or so we thought. Took the car out on a road trip, a little test run, and the transmission is not shifting. This brand new transmission we just got together is not shifting out of first gear. We've tried everything we can think of to try to make it work, and for some reason it's not shifting. And we have had a problem similar to this before with this transmission, and we were able to get it to work before, but we don't know what we did that fixed it. We had already swapped valve bodies and governors and servos and stuff in this transmission before, and it worked. So we never dug any deeper into trying to figure out exactly what the root cause was of it not shifting. But here we are back at that same point again, and we are out of time. I'm out of transmissions, I'm out of time, I'm out of parts. So unfortunately, I'm being relegated to plan B. And it pains me to not bring the Buick on the Hot Rod Power Tour. It's what I built the car for. It was the entire purpose of purchasing and building an 87 Grand National Pro Touring car was for hot rod road tripping. However, this year, it does not look like it's gonna make it. So here we are with plan B. I had to go dig plan B out of storage yesterday afternoon. Do an oil change on it, do a quick checkout on it, and this is what we're gonna be taking. So for this year, 2023 Hot Rod Power Tour, unfortunately, this is plan B. This is my 2016 Corvette Z06. I have not done anything on the channel with this car yet. It was all scheduled for future content. I do have videos of the car, you know, racing it and doing various things with it, but I've never actually introduced the car to the channel as of yet. But this is my 16 model Z06. I bought it brand new, and it's got the MTI, what they call 800 package. Car makes right at 800 rear wheel horsepower on E85, and it's just super mild, super reliable. And this is what we are taking on the Power Tour, unfortunately. Now I know what you guys are thinking, the same way. Hot Rod Power Tours are not for new cars. And I get it. I totally do. You know, it's not what I would want to be bringing, but it's what we got left. I've exasperated all options that I can with the Buick, and I'm out of time and out of options. So this is the car we're going to be taking. It's not going to be near as fun. It's not going to have near the thrill of adventure like the Buick would, or just an old car does when you take an old car on a road trip. You know, the thrill of wondering if you're going to make it there is half the fun. And man versus machine. You're repairing your car on the road as things pop up, having pride in taking a car that you built yourself and road tripping across country and beating on it and being successful. That is the fun stuff for me. So this car, although very comfortable and still fun to drive, it's not a hot rod tour car, but it is what it is. So this is what we're gonna be taking. One thing that this car will be good at is after the Hot Rod Power Tour ends on Friday, my wife and I are gonna double back around to North Carolina, and we are going back to the Tail of the Dragon. And we're gonna stay a couple days in Deals Gap and rip up the Tail of the Dragon. And we were planning on doing that with the Buick, and I was a little concerned about it with the Buick, just because the stall converter was so big in the Buick, and the brakes are marginal at best in the Buick. I was a little worried about ripping that car around through 318 turns and 11 miles. So this car will be definitely more fun and much safer for that. This thing's got exceptional grip, great brakes and everything. It's a sports car, so I mean, it should be good, right? But anyway, that is what we got going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video, and we will get on the road. I do plan on shooting some Power Tour footage each day. I don't know that I will get daily uploads in, but maybe every other day I'm gonna try to, you know, bring you guys to the event with us. Unfortunately, it won't be in near as cool of a car, but at least you guys will be able to see everybody else's cool hot rods. And we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna make the most out of it, and we'll try to bring as much of it to you guys as we can. I appreciate you watching my videos. Stay tuned.